In the city of Monte Alvarado lived Clara, a 33-year-old woman, intelligent, sensitive, and hardworking. On the outside, everyone said she was strong, but on the inside, she was exhausted. Clara had always been passionate about everything involving the mind, energy, and self-knowledge. She believed in the power of thoughts, in the strength of the subconscious, in the ability to change her own reality. She spent hours reading, writing down quotes, reflecting on how to create the life she desired, and she did everything she could to put it into practice. She woke up early, did affirmations, wrote goals in her notebook, visualized the perfect future. She spent hours watching videos about manifestation, taking notes on techniques, repeating phrases in front of the mirror, and for a while, she even believed she was on the right path. But the days kept passing, and nothing changed. Money was still tight, the relationship she wanted never came, and her job was a place that drained all of her energy. And when the change didn't come, you know what she did? She blamed herself even more. She thought she was doing it wrong. That maybe she wasn't vibrating high enough. And then she tried to compensate with more effort, more videos, more techniques, more desperation, until it reached a point where she didn't even know if she was trying to manifest or just trying to convince the universe to feel sorry for her. At the end of that year, Clara did something no one understood. She requested time off from work, turned off her phone, and traveled alone. She didn't tell anyone her destination. She only knew one thing. She needed to get away from everything, and from herself. It was like something inside her was suffocating. She had done everything she had learned. Affirmations, visualizations, repetitions, faith. But deep down, she felt that nothing was working. On the third night, unable to sleep, she searched on her phone, place to rediscover peace. The first result was a retreat in the mountains, deep in the countryside of India. Rustic, quiet, few visitors. But there was a sentence on the website that made her stop. Here, you don't come to learn, you come to remember. She didn't think twice. In the first few days, she cried without knowing why. She slept poorly, avoided talking. She sat in the courtyard, just watching the leaves fall, and in silence she repeated, "I just want to understand where I got lost." On the morning of the fourth day, a staff member approached her. "Monk Tenzin is going to speak with the visitors today. Would you like to join?" Clara hesitated, but said yes. The room was simple, and in the center, sitting in silence, was him, an old man with a serene voice, light-colored robes, and eyes that didn't look outward, they looked inward. He observed each person, then asked, "Who here feels like they've been trying too hard? And still, nothing happens?" Clara felt her chest tremble, and for the first time in a long while, she wanted to respond. The monk stepped forward and spoke directly without introduction, as if answering a question no one had the courage to ask. "You are tired, not because you want too much, but because you are trying to manifest with desperation." Clara felt a chill run through her body. He continued firmly, "You do affirmations, visualizations, write down goals, watch videos, but inside, you're still vibrating urgency, fear, and scarcity. And that's what the universe responds to. It's not how much you do, it's how much you trust while you do it." He walked slowly through the center of the room. The subconscious doesn't hear your words, it feels your vibration. And if there is tension inside, there is no creation, only repetition. Clara was still. It was as if he were describing everything she had been living for months. "So today, I won't teach a technique. I'll give you 4 keys, 4 inner states. If you live from them, nothing will ever be the same." First, surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It's when you let go of the need to control, when you stop insisting that things must happen your way and in your time. It's when you say, "I trust, I let go, I allow." Surrender is when you act, yes, but without tension, without desperation, without carrying the entire universe on your back. As long as you're trying to make it work at any cost, you're vibrating scarcity, fear and urgency, and the subconscious doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you feel. Second, acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. Acceptance is recognizing the now as your starting point. While you resist what is, you strengthen exactly what you want to change. But when you say, "This is the moment I have, and I choose to give my best from here," you create space for something new to happen. Acceptance is the soil where change begins to grow. Third, presence. Being present is being whole. It's not living in the what-if of the past, nor in the anxiety of the when of the future. It's breathing, feeling, hearing the wind, hearing the body, hearing the now. It is in this silence that the subconscious works. It is in this surrender that it receives new instructions. Manifestation only blooms when your mind stops running and starts listening. And finally, trust. The monk then leaned slightly forward, looked into Clara's eyes, and said, "Trust is knowing, even when nothing seems to move. It's continuing to water the seed, even when the soil looks dry. You don't dig up the earth every day to see if the root is growing. You simply care and trust. Those who trust don't keep asking if it's going to work. They don't look for a sign in everything. They don't rush. Those who trust act in peace, act knowing they are already being guided." Clara closed her eyes. It was as if those four words, surrender, acceptance, presence, and trust, had reorganized everything inside her. For the first time, she understood. She didn't need to force anything anymore. She just needed to allow. In the days that followed, Clara stopped searching for answers outside. She simply observed, felt, listened to her own silence. And in that space between one thought and another, everything finally made sense. She realized that the problem was never what she wanted. It was the way she was going after it, trying to control the invisible instead of trusting, repeating techniques, but with a tight heart, feeling fear, while saying she had faith. She wanted to align, but acted like someone who doubted all the time. And it was only when she stopped chasing, when she let go of control and chose to simply breathe, accept the present moment, and truly trust, that something inside her finally reorganized. Clara understood, with every part of her body, a truth that books don't teach. Manifestation doesn't come from effort. It comes from alignment, from the silent space where what you feel, finally, becomes compatible with what you desire. She saw that the greatest act of creation was not doing more. It was allowing. It was trusting without guarantee, letting go without haste, and living the now as if it were already the answer. 6 months later, Clara had achieved what she hadn't in 10 years of trying with effort. She opened her own business, something she had always dreamed of, but never had the courage to start, and it wasn't forced or desperate. The ideas came with ease, the paths opened naturally, and the right people began to appear at the right time. She also met someone in a simple, unexpected way, with no games, no anxiety. A light, mature relationship, different from anything she had ever experienced. She began to live in peace, slept peacefully, woke up with joy, felt gratitude without needing a reason. For the first time, she understood what it meant to have true faith. It wasn't about believing only when everything was going well. It was about trusting even when the world seemed still. It was about staying steady with a calm heart, knowing that everything was already being taken care of. Clara didn't become perfect, but she became whole, and that changed everything. Maybe you're tired, Not of life, but of trying with your own strength. And this story came to you to remind you, it's not about pushing until you break. It's about trusting until you bloom. God doesn't want you to control everything. He only wants you to trust and give your best in the moment you have, with what you have. The rest, He will take care of. If this message touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you'll always find stories that warm the soul and awaken truths that were asleep inside you. See you in the next video.